Hi, I'm Brian with Rit-Boat, and I'm just going to show you how to repair a Rit-Craft PVC inflatable device that has a hole in it. For some reason, we got a hole in it during training, and that does happen. So in order to fix it in the field, this is just a temporary patch that's put on the boat. That's good. It'll work through your rescue, your sequence, whatever you have to do. But when you get back, you should probably permanently fix it. This is good for 2 or 3 pounds, and this is considered a high pressure boat at 4 psi. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to peel off the old patches on here. And the easiest way to do it is just grab it, peel it back. It works really, really well, as you can tell. Get a little bit of work on it. There you go, and you can feel the air coming out. So it certainly did its job. But there again, it's a temporary fix. So at this point, we're going to have to clean off all the goop that's on it. The easiest way to do that is to use methyl ketones or acetylene or acetone rather. You don't want that stuff touching your skin, so you're going to make sure you're in a well ventilated area, and you want to use your gloves. So take the lid off, and I'm just going to apply it to a cloth and wipe it off and get it clean. As soon as I get it all clean, I'll come back with the power of magic of the camera and we'll be ready to go. So like I said, a little bit of this stuff, using a well ventilated area, don't get on your skin, and it will take it right off. Yeah, you can see it removing everything nicely. So a little bit of work, I'll be right back to you. Now what we want to do is we want to take a piece of the material that comes in the repair kit and cut it the appropriate size. So we have 3 distinct little holes on here, 4 actually, you see. Something's punctured it. So what you want to do is make sure you cover them by a good inch. So this piece ought to cover all 4 of them nicely with a little bit of overlap. So I've cut a square out of it. You want to make sure you take all the corners off, round them all over nicely, and then they're not as likely to catch over time. And just, that's it, just round them. Once you've got it in place, set it up where you want it to go. Take a pencil and carefully mark all the way around it with your pencil. Leave a nice little thin line so you don't damage the looks of your boat. This device, there we go. And then when you want to break it apart, and take a piece of sandpaper or emery, and we get really good mechanical contact with the glues that we use, but we get mechanical adhesion by sanding it down nicely. Give a little sanding all the way to the edges. Make sure you do the edges, and the same up here. You want to take off any of the shine. The more shine you get off, the better it's going to stick over time. Back and forth. Get rid of all the stuff from before. Good. It shines off there. Nice. And all the way across the bottom. And make sure you don't go outside the lines. Okay. At this point, you want to take your rag with a little bit of meat on it. And we're going to clean all that dust off of there that we just made. And it cleans up very nicely. Off both. I'm going to give that a minute to dry, but when I do, as soon as I'm done that, I'm going to take that material and I'm going to take it and give it a thin coating of HH66 cement glue. Okay, so I'm going to glue this, let it dry, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, if you're anything like me, you're a little bit sloppy when it comes to gluing. I put a piece of tape all the way around the outside edge. And what I do is I take my glue, apply a thin coat, let it dry, give it a good 5-10 minutes. Do the same on the back of this one here, and you'll see when you touch it, it's completely dry. Seems fairly dry. So what's going to happen at this point, once it's dry, take off your tape. Otherwise you won't get it off later. And you can see where it's all been patched nicely. It's just, yeah, sticking really nice and dry. Then what you want to do, heat the piece of material till it's nice and glossy and a little bit tacky. And keep your gun moving around a little bit. Okay. Get it good and warm. The warmer you get it, the better it sticks. And give this a little bit of heat just to reactivate the glue. You'll notice it becomes shiny as well. Once you get this good and warm, what what you want to do is put it back in the exact same place that you had it, and you want to start on one side, right there, and you want to take something flat and make sure there's no bubbles in it. And what you want to do is make sure there's absolutely no bubbles, because if there's any bubbles, you'll get a leak, and you're trying to make an airtight fit. There we go. So you just go back and forth with it. If you don't have something that looks like what I'm using, just use an open-end wrench and use the round part. There we go. And that is a complete airtight seal that's on there now. And right now it's good to go. Just make sure you get around the edges really nice. Good. And that one is. And if you make a mistake, simply heat it and pull it off with a pair of pliers, and it'll be just fine. If you're concerned about anything, you can just heat it a little bit more and activate the glue and push all the bubbles out. And that'll get hot enough to activate the glue, and here we are. There's an airtight seal. That's all there is to it. That will cool off for about 2 seconds, and that's good to go. That will not leak again until you puncture it. Thank you.